This Just Drive segment is sponsored by Michigan Auto Law. It's the holiday season, and with that warm and fuzzy feeling also comes some serious road threats. Our Just Drive attorney, Brandon Hewitt, is here to shed some light on National Drunk and Drugged Driving Prevention Month. Well, thanks so much for being here with me today.
Of course, happy to be back.
I'm happy to have you here, and this is a big threat, I know, but I'm not sure how big it is. Do you mind telling me about all the statistics behind drunk and drug driving?
Well, so December is National Drunk and Drug Driving Month. It's a good time to have it because we're having holiday parties and being with family and friends. But it's surprising actually how big of a problem drugged driving is. Everybody knows that drunk driving is a big problem. Little do people know that actually drug driving has kind of overtaken drunk driving as what we see is kind of a cause of crashes, especially fatal crashes.
And I'm shocked to hear that because, you know, growing up it was don't drink and drive, and I never even thought about, you know, don't drive while under the influence of drugs. But you were saying that's kind of been a habit that's been coming over. How long has this been happening, and are the times getting better or are they getting worse?
They're definitely getting worse.
Okay, yikes.
So it's it probably goes along with what we're seeing kind of in the national scene with the opioid epidemic. More people are on prescription drugs, that's just the fact.
Right.
There's more use of recreational drugs that we're seeing, and really what we've seen from 2005 forward, the numbers are getting worse, and not by a small percentage. It's probably gone up almost 20% or so in those 10 years. So this is a problem that's bad, it's getting worse. And if we don't get ahead of it now, it could become an epidemic.
Absolutely. And do you know the margin between, you know, who is getting into these accidents that are drugged driving versus drunk driving?
Yes. So drug driving, we're seeing 43%.
Wow.
Staggering number, right? 43% of fatal crashes we're seeing we have drugged prescription drugs or recreational drugs in the fatally injured person's body, versus 37% for alcohol above the legal limit.
Right, both numbers are high, but wow, that 40, that's almost half. That's insane.
Yes.
And you mentioned prescription drugs too. I think it's important to note, even if your doctor is giving you a prescription, you still have to know how that's gonna affect you and affect your driving.
Yeah, if you're on a prescription drug, it's not going to get you off the hook because you tell the police officer that, well, the doctor prescribed it to me,
I got a doctor's note, right?
Yeah, exactly. So what you wanna do is make sure that you're reading the warning labels on your prescriptions. If you're not sure, talk to your doctor, talk to your pharmacist, ask how they're going to affect you, ask how they're going to interact with the other drugs that you might be taking.
Right.
A lot of people take certain prescriptions, mix them with other prescriptions. We all remember Tiger Woods famously had no idea where he was, right?
Yep.
He was on mostly prescription medications at that time. So they can be very, very dangerous.
And so if somebody pulls you over, there's something called an implied consent. You have to give that consent to get a blood test or a chemical test. Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, so we're all importantly cautious when police pull us over and ask us to do something.
Right.
But what most people don't know is that if you're asked to give a blood alcohol screening test, especially if you're being arrested, you have to consent. And it's an implied consent in Michigan, which means you've already consented when you got pulled over and arrested. So actually not giving that test is a whole separate infraction from whatever else you're being arrested for. So it's a pretty big penalty, up to 6 points, up to a year in jail.
Wow.
So the police are going to test you for that. So just expect that if you get pulled over and they suspect that you're on drugs or alcohol, you're going to have to give that test.
Right, so just stay clear of drugs and alcohol when you're driving. If you're on prescription drugs, be sure that you know what it's doing to your body. Is that basically what we're saying here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the FDA noticed this, and especially if you're on a sleeping medication like Ambien or any of those types of prescription medications, they can stay in your body much longer than you think.
Right,
So
absolutely.
talk to your doctor about when is it safe for me to get up and get on the road. Maybe take an extra half hour, have that coffee in the morning before you get behind the wheel.
Right.
Just to be safe and keep everybody else safe.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Brandon.
Yeah,
Pleasure
thank
as
you.
usual.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For more information on National Drunk and Drugged Driving Prevention Month, visit Michigan Auto Law on their website. We've got a link to it online at 13onyourside.com.